is I'm gonna start off with the dollar index. So the last market review, right, I spoke about the divergence between the euro and the dollar index. So I'm just gonna quickly go over the divergence here. So dollar index made a high, higher high, right? So the same thing I'm seeing, and then the euro made no, sorry. Let me take that back. It was this one I was looking at. Yep, here. So these are the highs. So it made a high and then a lower high, and then the euro made a low and a lower low. So that is diverging. Okay. Now that alone doesn't mean nothing to me. It's just like a warning signal, like, you know, just be ready. There's something happening here. Okay, when that happens, it just alerts me. Okay, so we got that alert. So possible high in the dollar, that at the time possible high. I still want to see more confirmation, right? Because if this is a genuine high, then obviously it's gonna drop to new lows in my opinion. So I want to look at where was the last move down before this high was made. And if, say for example we look at the high at 4 hour, it was these down candles that led to the move up. So it was this was the last buying in my opinion, right? Yes, they bought some here, but this was the one that created the new high that took out the stops. These ones here haven't taken out the stops. Okay, so I think the big longs are here. So if I mark this out, right, I'll mark this out. I'm drawing the whole thing here, but for me, what would confirm it would be a break below here. A break below here would confirm to me, okay, what I anticipated this being the high, that it's more likely to be true. So then I'll be hunting the proper shorts. Okay, so I'll be waiting for a break of this low here, nice clean break, and then I think we're going to continue. And our bias, obviously, as I spoke about, you know, I know I'm repeating stuff, but repetition is always good. This consolidation here, right, we took out the stops here, so the stops are still resting below this low here. They haven't taken that out, which is great. So I'm still expecting this low to be taken, and then obviously we can look for downside targets after that. So let me mark that out. So this low comes in at 91.90. So low is 91.90. Okay, let me make that a brighter color. Yeah, I like this color. No, fuck that. Okay, 91.90. Now let's look what has happened. We've taken out last week's high. So when last week's high week closed, it looked like a bullish close, and you know, people saying, you know, we are support level here, you know, support zone here. I think market was probably trapped. The way it's looking to me now, it makes me think this was a trap. This candle was, which is fine. So if that's a trap, then we look at what's happened. So we've taken out the high, right? So if I mark that out, we've took out fuck's sakes, yeah, last week's high. So let me mark that out. So the last week's high comes in at 93.77. 93.77. Do that in a different color. Yeah, that's last week's high. So where are the stops going to be resting? Just from looking at candlesticks alone, weekly candlesticks, it saves us the work. It makes more sense now that the stops are going to be resting below last week's low, isn't it? So those that were long here, their stops are going to be resting here. This comes later on, but this is the immediate stops. Because if they were to continue up, and it's a Thursday as well, why haven't they continued higher? They should have continued higher if this was such a bullish close, and to start taking on the stops, those that are shorting it. But they haven't done that. Please don't unmute yourself, because if you do, I'm going to kick you out. So yeah, it makes more sense now that they stayed below last week's high after taking it out to go down. So that's what I'm thinking. Now what confluences it is our higher time frame, well, lower time frame analysis now, where we've got that divergence I spoke about. That's just one factor. It doesn't mean much on its own. It's happening. Where did it happen? It happened at last week's high. That divergence did, which is a key resistance level. Okay. Not only that, if we look at this, we're into 4 hour. please don't unmute your mic, please. It just makes it annoying. We have this order block here, okay, 4-hour order block here. So this resistance here, because it led to the move down. Retest of it, test again, and it's failing to go above. If it got above this grey box here, then I'll start hunting longs, and that would invalidate my short idea. But as it's looking now, it looks like it wants to go lower. So what I'm thinking is, if that's the case, then I want to see a break of this, a nice clean break, a retest. So a break of this, then a retest of it, then we go lower. And at this point, when it breaks this, I do not want to see it go above here, okay? And then we continue going lower. Is that clear? Okay, that's the dollar index, right? Now the other majors aren't making sense. The only ones that are making sense to me are the euro and the cable, and I think they're doing that to manipulate the crosses. So if you look at the euro dollar, so I'm gonna pull out a different chart for the euro. Okay, so if you look at the euro right now, so I'm gonna clear this chart up, start from the beginning, right? We've got this daily order block here, right? This daily block here. Now if we refine that, so you've got a low, lower low, higher low, so it looks like a swing low is being formed, which is great. If you go to the 4-hour, now on the 4-hour we've got these down candles here, but then this is the bigger one here, right? These down candles lay within this. So if I mark out 50% of that, right, we're it's nice support. It's showing us nice support there. Okay. So what I'm hoping for now is my invalidation level for longs would be a break below this low. Now I would want to see this low hold now, because we've come down and we've come down again, higher low, then we've pushed up and broken this swing high here. So this, as it stands, says to me that these down candles where they were market makers were buying in here, because they pushed up, made a new high, well, swing high here anyway. So I would like I explained in the Aussie New Zealand setup earlier on, X from here is bullish from, yeah, we'll see how it price falls, but if I'm correct, I want to see this low hold now, okay? And I think we're probably gonna start reaching for this here, and then possibly new highs. Looking at the macro charts, I'll bring them up in a minute, they're not changed it. Yes, this down, we've had a down move, but I think this is just a retracement filling the gap. We shouldn't see well, if we're correct on a bullish trend, you know, I want to see this hold now, because so we look at the flow, we come into there, and then we've come into, you know, there. Let me just draw boxes, it makes it easier. So we've had a nice stop rate down, took out these lows here, took out these lows here, and now I think it's ready. If I'm correct, this low should hold. If this low breaks, and ideally if this box breaks, then I think we're going to go lower, and we're going to take out the stops resting under here, right? And I think we're going to fill this in, and then I don't know how low we're going to go. It's going to go with it, go with the flow then at that point. So going into tomorrow, as it stands, you know, I would like to see a bigger move up, right? But as it stands, I mean, I do not want to see the lowest I would be letting this go is here. So these down candles, series of down candles, right? If I draw 50% of that, I mean the lowest I'd let this go is here, right? So it's been quite an efficient movement up, you know, it's been quite efficient, this movement up. So here, I'd probably possibly for looking for buys with here, around here. If I do this right around here, if price can come down here and show me bullish price action, right? If I get 5-15 minute bullish price action, I'm not willing to buy on a limit order. I never do that. Very rarely do I buy on limit orders, because I'm not that good to buy limit orders, and I want to see price tell me that it's gonna hold. So I'll be looking to buy around here, wherever it gives me. I do not want to see this low give in. If this low gives in, my long idea is off, and then I'll wait on the sideline. So I'll wait, and I'll see what price action does. If it comes here in the morning, if it gives me bullish price action, I'll take this long, and I'll be aiming for these highs here. And so say for example I bought it here, that would be my target. one here, and then I think it's going to go to new highs, because I think a lot of people are calling this as a top. And like I said, with what I explained on the dollar index going lower, then this would make sense obviously to go higher. Cable is a motherfucker, but we'll come back to that. So does that make sense for euro? So this is why I wait for price action. I wait for the lower time frame. I do not enter on limit orders. I want to see if it holds. So is euro clear? Okay. Quickly, if you go to August, right, 2015. August 2015 is around about here. Yeah. So where does August start? Here, yeah. And then yeah, this here was August 2015. This move up. I think something similar is happening now, because of what's happening. Because it looks. I remember when I was trading this, I was long Euro New Zealand at the time, and I had like a 200 pip. 200 pip. Who's pretending to be Michael? It had a 200 pip target, but I think it ripped, because Kiwi at the time it got crashed 300 points within seconds, and I think Euro New Zealand ripped like about 1600 points or something, because the cross pair with the Euro ripping. I was gutted. I got about 60 point positive slippage, but yeah, nothing to brag about. I was not expecting that. So I think it's looking similar to this, and I'll explain why when I move on to the other pairs, because all the yen pairs and the indices are doing the same thing in this August as well. It doesn't mean, you know, much, but if I see all these patterns unfolding again, then it puts me on alert. So in your own time, look over August 2015 price action on the yen pairs and euro crosses and see what's happening now. Very, very similar. Very, very similar. So you know what I'm looking for on the euro and my invalidation level. So I do not want to see it go there, but if it goes below here, then most likely the idea is off, and then I'll have to wait on the side and see what happens then. So that's that. Cable, I have no idea. I mean, the way it's looking to me, I think it wants to go lower. Take out these lows here. So if I look on the daily, I think they'll probably hold cable. I think the cable looks to me they want to hold it. So we got this order block here. So I think they're gonna want to take out this low next. Right. But if I was gonna go long against the dollar, it would be euro dollar long or dollar yen short. This is not the pair to go for, and especially looking at euro GBP. So cable, I'm not going to do much on it. I think it's going to go lower or hold. It's not clear to me. But if I go to euro GBP now, euro GBP is showing me a picture of, you know, more clarity. Euro GBP is higher. So I'm going to bring up the macro charts now. So hang on, let me bring up trading view. Okay, let's look at trading view now. And if I type in euro GBP, let's look at euro USD first, how that's looking. Okay, so let me go to the 6 month. Yep, so 6 month, I mean, looking at a 6 month chart, I think the next target is going to be this month, this 6 month high here. Then I think 127.50. That's, you know, but that's longer term. Let's see if the quarterly charts give more clarity. Yep. I mean, I wouldn't want to be short in this. If we get below this level here, if we get below the 1.16, what's this high here? If we get below the 1.1615, then, you know, I'll be a bit iffy about that. But as it stands, you know, the quarterly is still up, and I think we're gonna run up to here, to be honest. But next target would be here. This high comes at 120.99 with the 121 level, I reckon, and then the 127.50. So looking at this, I do not want to be short this unless it's an intraday trade or a scalp. I do not want to short this market. Then let's look for the euro GBP. Next target 92.25. Right, it's still bullish. This. Have you noticed every time people try to short this fucker, it just fucking takes them out. So 92.25 next. Looking at a 6 month chart of this, yep, it makes more sense to go there than lower, doesn't it? Would you short this? If I was to show you this, I know it's a quarterly chart, but if you're trading in sync with these high time frame levels, you know, after each dip, right, is more likely to go. Each dip is more likely to be a buying opportunity than a selling opportunity if you're in sync with these charts. Let's look at the 1 month. Yep. So as it stands, it makes more sense to take out this 92.25 next. So that's my euro shit done. So are we clear on the euro GBP, the euro? Now how to get on board this? I mean, this is not very clear to get. I think it's just gonna be one of those pairs that just carries on ripping with very late retracement. So what I'm gonna be looking for is something. So this candle here. See if we can get a dip into here, right? If I can get a dip into here, because this candle here was the one that moved up, but I prefer this, so I'm gonna draw these candles here because these ones engulf this. So if I can get a retracement into here, and if you look at this, right, it was it led to the move up, it failed, it broke it, and then resistance, 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 broke through it. I'm using it as support now. So if I go to lower time frame, okay, it'd be interesting to see what happens if price comes into here. Come London Open, I'll see what sort of price action we get. If it goes below this grey box, my long idea is off. But I'll look for it to come into this grey box, give me some bullish price action. If the euros give me a buy at the same time, so for example, if this was London Open, right, and we had euro GBP here and euro USD, if euro GBP was here and we had euro USD here at the same time, and both of them are giving me 5-15 minute bullish price action, that would be my confirmation for a long, and then off to the races. Okay, is that clear? How I'm looking to get on board long. So something like this, like, you know, come here, give me some sort of bullish price action, and then off to the races. Okay, that would be what I'm looking for. So that's euro GBP done. Dollar Swiss, yep, I did this trade. So I forgot to mention the 9700 level previously. So if I mark out the 9700 level here, it was this high here, right? So that comes in around 9700. 97. Okay. This was my bull bear line, right? You know, we took this out, came down, then when we got back above this, I thought, okay, maybe we're gonna stay above this, but it failed. Now that it's come back down, it took out this side of the range. I think it's gonna want to come down now, which lines up with dollar weakness. So at the time today, when I took this short, right, I explained why. It was these down candles here that led to the move up. So this would be the breaker here, and we had a resistance here, but then we came up again, took that high out, and then rejected. So I waited for the confirmation, and my short was here. My short was around here, and I was looking for these highs here, lows here, but it came out early because when I seen the way the other markets were moving, I wasn't confident. So I took out half around here, and then as it was moving up here, I took out the rest. So it's just over 1 hour. I banked off this, nothing major, but obviously it drifted lower, but it doesn't matter. It is what it is. So I got something out of it and made up for the, you know, oil loss anyway. So that's dollar Swiss. I think now it's gonna want to go lower and take out the other side of the range. So this wouldn't be the pair I'd take. I'd rather take the euro dollar, euro USD instead of this. So I think, you know, if I'm correct, then that should be the top in, and I don't want to see it go above this grey box. If it does, then fuck it. But I think it's gonna want to go lower now and take out this level here, and on the daily basis, yeah, these lows here, then we'll just see one low at a time. But this wouldn't be one I take. I'd rather take the euro long than the dollar Swiss. That's dollar Swiss done. Aussie dollar, this is looking weak to me, and I was hoping yesterday when I did a live session, I was hoping that maybe this would have been the low, but it's proving otherwise. And going back to August 2015, while the euro was ripping, all these other pairs were going, especially the Aussie and Kiwi, were dropping with the equities, with the indices. So I think this goes lower, and that lines up with what I'm going to go into, which is the euro crosses. So I think either consolidation or lower. I don't see this going higher. So if it's lower targets, obviously target 1 is going to be here, and then yeah. So if I just do a smaller line here, and then I think we're going to take out this low, and then ideally into here. I think we could drop into here. Going on to the weekly, on the monthly, sorry. Yep, I think these down, I think you could retest this, but I'll have this marked out, anticipating where it could go, but I don't necessarily need to trade this because I'll trade the clearer pairs. Like, or rather, if I want to short Aussie, I'd do it through Euro Aussie instead, because as I've marked out, the Euro is looking to be stronger, and the Aussie is likely to hold or drop lower. So you're better off either longing Euro or longing the Euro Aussie. Does that make sense of how I use the crosses? So if you're not unsure about Aussie dollar, but you still want to short Aussie dollar, then you do it through a strong pair like Euro. Does that make sense? Because a lot of people ask me this and I keep repeating it, but I don't know why. Either I'm not explaining it properly or you're fucking thick as fuck. No disrespect. I lost my lighter, you know. Yeah, here it is. Okay. Okay, so that's that. The Kiwi's looking very weak. I thought we were probably going to find support here, but I did not long this pair. I said I wanted confirmation. My confirmation would have come in the form of moving above, nicely above here. Not just a spike and breakdown, nicely above here. It didn't do that, so there was no trigger for a long. And this is another example of a breaker. This happened in the night, so I wasn't awake for that. But these down candles moved up. If it was going to hold, it should have held. It didn't. So this shows that they pushed this market up just to take out stops and sell more at a better price. Rip down, retest of it. That was a short there. If it was Asia, I didn't take this. But downside targets, I think Kiwi is gonna drop hard. And it's so funny, right? Look at August's price action on Kiwi. It's looking nearly identical. The way that Kiwi is the weaker one compared to Aussie, and Kiwi was weaker, the really weak one. In let's go back to August, man. I'll show you what it's about. August 2015. It's a good thing I got a good memory. This was the candle we had on the Kiwi. I remember this day. I was long Euro New Zealand. We had a 423 pip. It depends on your broker, but over 400 pip move, just like that, spike down. We had, and this was happened on August the 24th. It was within August, so I think we're gonna get lower. I'm not saying it's gonna be a crash in the Kiwi, but it makes more sense to go lower. But I'm not comfortable taking this if I'm expecting a bullish bearish dollar. Like I said, I'd rather long this through short this through the Euro New Zealand instead. So yeah, it's taking out the stop here, but the way it's looking to me, I don't want to long this. If it's going to be a long, then I want to see a move. I want to see a move above this high, and I want to see a clean, nice, big move above it. A big move above it. Just like here, we had a down move here. See this strong move above it? That's what I want to see. The only way I'd long it is if I see a move like that. Till then, it's either consolidation to lower prices. So if it's consolidation to lower prices, I don't want to take this, and I'm not going to fight. I don't like trading against the dollar. So that's Kiwi. Is everyone clear with the Kiwi? So the next objective would be these lows here. This is where the next stops are going to be resting. But okay, so that's that done. Dollar yen. This doesn't know when to stop. This still wants to go lower. So monthly basis, the next stops are going to be resting at 108.80. This low here, right? I think this is going to go a lot lower. So I'm going to be looking to get on board this. On the daily, I spoke about this low giving in. So I think we're going to get 108.10s next, and then 107. So 108. I think this is 108.12, but 108.12.5. Yep, 108.12.5. I think we're gonna go for this low. I don't think it's gonna stop there. I think it's gonna go for this low and then come into here, and I'll be looking for here 107. So then this is gonna be 107.50. So one target at a time: 108.10, 108.80, 108.10, 107.50, and then lower. But I'll take one target at a time. But I'm just seeing. I don't see how this is gonna go up. I think this is gonna go a lot lower. I think a lot of people are screwed on this. So entry wise, I mean, there's nothing clear for me right now. The only way I'd enter is if we got a push up into here, right? If we got a push up into here, I'd look for weakness. If it gives me, if it somehow by some miracle pushes up into there, the way it's looking right now, I just want to roll over now. But if you got push up into there, then I'd look for bearish price action to short this. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to look for, as price develops, I'm gonna have to look for opportunities to get on board. There's no clear thing for me. All I'm clear about is where it wants to go, and most likely, I think it's gonna want to go to these lows here, these levels here. So the weaker on this. And the same goes for all the yen pairs, the dollar yen, the Aussie yen, the New Zealand yen. All of them wants to go lower. I think the one pair that's gonna buck the trend is the dollar CAD. The way dollar CAD is looking to me, similar to August. Let's go back to, I don't know, keep referring to it, but it's fucking amazing how these fractals work. August 2015. Yeah, this was the move up in August. It doesn't necessarily have to be a big move up, but enough for the Euro crosses, Euro CAD to rip. While this was happening, you know, so it looks like something similar is gonna unfold. So I think the next level is gonna want to reach for is here. So, like I said, same with the Aussie and Kiwi. I rather long the Euro CAD. So now let's quickly go oil. Let's quickly go oil. I think this is gonna break. I spoke about this level. If 48.50s give in, then I think it's gonna go lower, and it didn't hold. So I was wrong on this. I tried to long it here. So when it came to this level here, and I seen this spiking up here, I took a long. Where is it gone? I took a long here on these candles here with the stop loss there, and then it just ripped. It went up a bit. I thought okay, and then it just dropped. So I thought screw this. Tried to long it once more, but then as soon as it spiked up, I was trying to turn. I thought this is over, man. The equities are falling. I did not want to be long this, and good thing it dropped. So oil, I'm on the sidelines for now. I think it's gonna want to go lower. Probably test. I think it's gonna go lower. So that's not clear. So I'm gonna move on to the Euro crosses now. Euro Aussie. Euro Aussie. If I'm correct, then I think this is gonna be a big move up. Okay, it looks like it's not gonna be small. It's gonna be a huge move up. So let me see how big the other move was. 2015. Yeah, this was August 2015. So this is July. Yep. This was the August 2015 move on Euro Aussie. I was like 1700 points. I think we're gonna get a big move on the Euro Aussie. Makes sense. I think we're gonna take out these highs here. So the next highs are gonna be obviously here, then here, then obviously each high. Now let's look carefully, closely at this. If I mark out the consolidations, right? See this consolidation here? Move above this. It was fake. As soon as we got back below, we took out this range here. If I extend this consolidation, right? Let's come back into that consolidation now, right? And I think any below here was accumulation, just by looking at it. And I think we've come down. We've taken out this low here. The fact we've taken out this low here, those that were short, like say this was a 5-minute chart where we just stops me resting above this high here. So it makes more sense now for it to go here than to come back lower. So I think next target is going to be here, and if we bring in our biases on the Euro and the Aussie and Kiwi, then it makes more sense to go higher than this level here, and then possibly even here. Euro Aussie can easily do pips like that, exotics can easily do that. Going on to the weekly, the way it's looking, yep, I think higher prices. Going on to the monthly, see starting to turn. Strong move down into this here, these two down candles, 2-month order block, strong move down, and it makes more sense to, so this monthly candle came down, broke previous month's low, and it closed up above. So it's gonna, I think the next target is gonna be here on a monthly basis here, which is about 300 points away. So I think it's gonna want to go there, and then there. That's monthly. Let me just see what I can see on the macro charts for this. So if we go to Euro Aussie, yeah, see that is turning. So this is a 1-month chart. On a 3-month chart, right? What have we done here? So 3-month chart, we've come down, took out these stops into this breaker here, and this quarterly chart closed up. It came back down, dipped into what, this order block here. So if I draw that out, right, dipped into it. Now it's pushing up. We're above the quarterly open. So it looks to me it's going to take out previous quarterly high, which comes in at our monthly targets there. So that's going to be the next target, and then we'll see what happens after that. Is that making sense? See how these macro charts are lining up as well. Very, very important. 6 month, yep, look at that. 6 month, it looks like, you know, it's come down, and it looks like it wants to push up higher now. Does that make sense? So it's a similar theme for EuroCAD. EuroCAD, if you look at these down candles led to the push up, took out these highs, then we smashed below it, resistance, resistance. Now we're back above it, so we pull that up again. Look how it's acting as support, and now it's pushing up to breaking these highs. So I personally think we're going to take out this here. I think we're going to take out this high here, which is 265 points away, which is similar to Euro Aussie, 300-400 pips away. So if I'm correct, this is the similar case. So yep, I think EuroCAD's going to take out that high there. Looking onto the weekly, yeah. So if I go to the EuroCAD as well, so here, yep, EuroCAD showing similar price action here, pushing up. These are older charts I've done. Yep. So looks like it's gonna push higher. Took out these highs here, I reckon. So that's similar. My favorite one is probably going to be Euro New Zealand. Weekly chart, yeah, this is already showing more strength than the others. So going into the monthly, nice down, similar price action. This breaker here, this bullish candle, then we followed by 2 bearish candles. So if I drew a line across there, yep, it's pushing higher. So next target is going to be here. It's not that far away. It's about 80 ticks away. Going on to the weekly, so we've got this consolidation here. We could even push up into here. When I was long Euro New Zealand at the time, let me just show you the Euro New Zealand chart for 2015. This was a big, massive mover. If you look at that, this was a 1-day candle, 1300 pips. This did. You know, I never thought we would get that high, but you know, the way it's looking right now, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but just gonna be an alert. Because when I was here, I think my target was around these highs here, but within seconds, boom, took out this high here. So I'm not saying it's gonna happen again, but if we start breaking above this high here, then we're gonna start dealing with this consolidation here, and the stops resting above each high here. So if we get above this here, then this is going to be the next target here, this high. We'll deal with these later on, but I think it's going to be a big move up. If we start breaking below this low here, so this would become the breaker then. If we move below here, then my idea is off. But as it stands right now, this looks more probable to me to go higher than lower. Does that make sense? The Euro New Zealand. So the reason why I'm looking at all these Euro crosses is, what sentiment is this building? Euro strength through all these Euro strength is building. So we built the case for a dollar weakness. We're building a case for Euro strength, and not only that, we're building a case for Euro strength above all the other majors, like Euro to be stronger than Aussie, to be stronger than Sterling, to be stronger than Kiwi, to be stronger than CAD. Is that making sense? So if we got all that picture with storyline we built behind Euro strength, then we've got a good chance or higher probability on our side. Obviously we have our invalidation levels marked out, so if we know where we're wrong, then you know that's where we just step out. But like the way it's holding right now, we I think this is the level to watch out for as well, this level here. So this can be the next, if we take this out, this is going to be the next upside, and then that. Is this making sense to you all so far, or am I just yapping away and then everybody's just sitting there falling asleep? Yes, this will be uploaded, okay, don't worry about that. So I'm trying to build a case or an argument for all of this. Now bloody hell man, these equities, boom, I'm gonna have to probably get on board some of these. I haven't been looking at these equity indices in a while, but any pullbacks I'm gonna, and the thing is, right, look at this is strong scenario. So the way it's looking to me, I do not think this block's gonna hold. I think we're gonna go for these lows here next. If we're correct, so dollar yen going down as well, and the way it's looking to me, it makes more sense for me for them. So those that trade, for example, if this was a 5-minute chart, right? If this was a 5-minute chart, then I would go for my stops would have probably been here. My stops would probably be below this low here, and I would be seeing this as a retracement to get long again. But if this is a short-term top, right, then the stops are going to be resting here. So it makes more sense the money's going to be resting here then, and all the other indices are lining up. And the way the market's looking overall, it does look more probable for this low to be taken. So if I can somehow get some sort of entry, so one of my strategies that I talk about is you get the open, the daily open candle, and then move on to back above. As soon as it gets below the open, I look to see what sort of resistance has built up above the open, and then start shorting the fuck out of it on lower time frame. I know where my target is. Okay. That makes sense. Okay, and it's a similar case for all these other indices as well. I mean, they're all dropping, so I don't need to go over that. It's a similar theme. And that's about it. That's I think I've covered what I wanted to cover. So going into the next, maybe tomorrow or next week, I'm looking for euro strength. So I'm not gonna have everything, but I'm gonna look to the pound Aussie. Hang on, let me go through the pound Aussie. So pound Aussie, right? It's a dirty motherfucker. This is. I really thought when we were down here, I thought we were gonna crash, but it's not giving me what I want. So the way it's looking, I think we could possibly push into here. I think we could push into here. But I'm not gonna trade in this. It was clear for me when it was down here, but after what's happened, that's why I said to you, no matter how strong bias I've got on the market, right, you can always be wrong. And this is why I was trailing my stop losses. And I banked a good amount of pips, don't get me wrong, but I had my invalidation levels marked out and it proved wrong, and it's come back down. It's actually finding support the weekly open, but I would not touch this now. Maybe later on, but as it stands, I would not touch this. Okay, because it's not clear to me. If I was to say anything, I'd probably say higher than lower right now. And because it was failing to go below, I see this move down as a stop run, and we had a move up above it. So as it stands, it's short term bullish to me now. It's making more sense to go higher than lower now. Unless we take this out again, this low, then I'll start looking for the shorts again. But as it stands, there's no point touching this when there's other pairs clearer. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop the recording here, and then I'm going to take on questions. Okay, is everyone clear so far what I've been through? Is everything clear so far? I'll try to explain as simple as I can. Okay, so let me just stop the recording here.